Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Got a chance to check out the Deontay Wilder interview yesterday, yeah, last night that he did with is it Marcus Watson, one of the Watson boys. Um, it's always good to hear from Wilder, man. Always good to hear from Wilder. He just pretty much went over his career, pretty much in retrospect, man. Just touching on some of his interests outside the ring and things of that nature. I mean, a lot of stuff I've heard him talk about before. He gave an interesting story about his first pro fight. It was on the Jermaine Taylor and Spinks undercard. Interesting because I actually watched that fight. So it's crazy Wilder was on that undercard. I don't remember that. See what up in here. Official AJ was good, man. So it's good, just hear him talk about that type of stuff, man. He really didn't say anything about any opponents, but he did say that, he still wants to clear out the heavyweight division. It was good to hear him say that, and what his motives are as far as, continue to fight. He wants to clear out the division. And he pretty much said anybody that's a top name, those are the type of guys that he wants to fight. All right, so that kind of goes without saying. Somebody in the chat on that live brought up Andy Ruiz, and it was somebody else they brought up. And Rada was pretty much saying, hey, man, I can call out all the names, but pretty much one of the top guys. Oh, it was Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So just can't wait to see him back, man. Can't wait to see a fight announcement. One of the interesting takeaways from the interview, because you guys know I love styles and stuff like that. Marcus asked him, he asked him who would Wilder want to share the ring with, hypothetically. He brought up Holyfield, Lewis, and Ernie Favors. And I was just thinking about those fight-wise, those would be some crazy fights. Who would you guys favor in those three fights? Wilder taking on Ernie Shavers, Holyfield, and Joe Louis. I know a lot of people may say, because I actually did a video on Wilder versus Joe Louis about 4 years ago, just giving my take on that type of matchup. Sometimes people forget, man. They look at Joe Louis and think, oh, he would be a cruiserweight nowadays, or he'll be a very small heavyweight. People kind of forget though, man. He did fight Primo Carnera. That dude was what, 6'6", like 260 pounds, 65, had like an 86-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? Who else did he fight, man? Joe Louis, Buddy Bear. He fought Buddy Bear twice. Buddy Bear was 6'7", like 245 pounds. You know what I mean? People kind of forget, man, that, Joe Louis wasn't just fighting small guys. He did fight some giants, guys that were still be, looked at as big heavyweights to today. Now, we can sit and argue about guys are more athletic today, that sort of thing, but, he wouldn't have been in awe of the size of Deontay Wilder, put it that way, all right? But Evander would have been tough for Deontay, man, and trying to go to war with like an Ernie Shavers, and because Shavers can punch lethal with both hands, it's not just one shot you got to look out for. You're in high risk of being knocked the hell out against those. But then, those guys got to also worry about Deontay keeping that link and landing one of them right hands, man. We can sit here and say they would have been able to take it. Well, shit, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I seen Rocky Marciano and, guys like Schmeling tap Joe Louis on his jaw and he went down. You could say, oh, he fought Marciano. All right, we are back. I don't know what happened, man. See a few people left, but yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, Shavers. It's not like Shavers had the like he was the heavyweight version of Pernell Whitaker. So he would have definitely Wilder would have definitely had some opportunities to land on Shavers. But just interesting stuff. Bruce Golds was good, man. And Povey the God, he says, what's good, Mr. What's up, man? Black King says, white supremacy is destroying boxing. And which example are you using? Like, what are you talking about exactly when you say that? Bruce Gold says, love those fantasy fights. Yes, indeed. 504 Canes fan says Joe Louis was 138 when he fought Rocky Marciano. Lion Killer Podcast was good, bro. So yeah, man, that's what I took away that was most interesting from it, was just, him saying, guys that he would want to share the ring with. And that was Holyfield, Joe Louis, and Ernie Shavers. Just me thinking about those styles. That was the most interesting takeaway from the interview. It was a very lengthy interview, so I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I heard a good portion of it. Another interesting thing I heard him say was about, connecting with people outside of boxing. And he was saying LL Cool J. And it's crazy because I thought LL had the best episode on hot boxing. You know what I mean? So I thought that was an interesting takeaway. That's pretty much it, man, that I took away from that, from what I heard. Seemed like a very friendly, just seemed like two friends chopping it up, really, more than an interview. You know what I mean? But man, on the 17th, on Wednesday, I'm gonna have, if you guys haven't checked out the episode I had with Cassius Chaney and Christopher Lovejoy the other day, please go check that out, man. Had them on there talking their shit, saying they want to fight each other. So it was good to bring both guys on at the same time to do that, man. So shouts out to them for lending me their time. Go check that out. I'm gonna start calling that Heavyweights Unleashed. All right. Even though I got interviews with Andy Ruiz and Eric Molina and Junior Fa. I got all those on my page as well. But on Wednesday, Heavyweights Unleashed, I'm gonna have Timothy Moulton. He was a big part in Anthony Joshua's training camp when he was training for that second fight with Andy Ruiz. All right, so I'm gonna have Timothy Moulton on 6-0 out of Louisville. Repping Louisville like the great Ali. And Jimmy Young. So got a lot on the shoulders, man, coming out of Louisville and being the heavyweight. But I'm gonna have him on Wednesday. Thinking about doing it live. If not, it will definitely be uploaded on Wednesday night. All right. On the 17th, George Arias, also going on 17th, George Arias, the 15-0 Dominican heavyweight, fights out of the Bronx, out of the BX. He'll be in action, fighting Joel Cotto. Always have problems pronouncing that dude's last name, Joel Cotto. You guys remember Joel? He fought Cassius Chaney. He's the dude that got knocked out the ring when he fought against Cassius. But I always say props to him though, man, because even though that moment went viral a couple of years ago on ESPN, he did get up and get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So he will be in action against the undefeated George Arias. Haven't seen George in the ring since 2019, man. So I understand 2020 was a, bad year to try to get back in the ring for some fighters. Although some dudes racked up on the COVID bubble, like Jared Anderson and Kingsley eBay, guys like that. They fought 4 or 5 times on ESPN in that year, so he'll be in action on the 17th. And then this weekend we got Brazil versus Wallen. I can't wait for that. I like that style matchup. Also on the 20th, you got Sonny Canto taking on Waldo Cortez. Canto is the about 6'4", about 215. I think he fights out of South Philly. He's a Philly kid. Remember seeing Sonny in the amateurs, man, when he fought against Ronnie Hines. Ronnie Hines right now is 10-0 as a prospect heavyweight. They fought in the 2018 Golden Gloves finals, and Ronnie Hines eked them out, man, with a split decision that year. So he'll be in action on ESPN on the 20th. Also on the Zone on the 20th, you're going to have this weekend Johnny Fisher making his pro debut. And I seen on Instagram Tyson Fury gave a little, words of encouragement type of video that he put out there for Fisher for his pro debut that will be on the Zone. And Fisher's one of them guys, man, that's been in a lot of camps. You're getting a lot of these guys that's turning pro, probably didn't have a stellar amateur background, even if they did have some fights, but they wasn't gold medal winners or international championship winners and stuff like that. But they just go and get a lot of work in from Dillian White, and they may be in the Anthony Joshua camp and this guy's camp and that guy's camp, and that's how they're gaining their experience. So yeah, this weekend, man, I can't wait for this weekend. Myself, like I said on Wednesday, gonna have that middle of the week fight with George Arias, high work rate, kind of. Now I'm not saying he's Joe Frazier, all right? I'm not saying he's Mike Tyson, but he has that type of style to him, all right? I'm not saying he's those guys, but he has that type of motor, rather. Yeah, he has that type of motor. Comes out bobbing and weaving, high energy. He's always energetic. He has a lot of energy, man, for a big heavyweight. All right, let me see what y'all talking about, man. I ain't gonna be on here long. Bruce Gold says Shaver used to run out of gas when he didn't finish you off quickly. My man CB Sports was good, bro. Lion Killer says nothing much enduring this winter weather. No power, nothing. Damn. Yeah, you down there in Texas, right? I heard down there was like in the 20s, and I know for down there that's freezing. Up here, man, where I'm at, it was what, minus 30? Was it minus 30 the other day? I think it was minus 30 yesterday where I'm at. So my man Andrew S says, he says, what up? He says, what up, bro? From Mexico, hope to see Zhili Zhang versus Frank Sanchez in the near future. Those are my future in the division. And of course, see my boy Andy Ruiz back in the ring. I can't wait to see Andy, man. That dude looks explosive as hell on the mitts, man. When it comes to like mitt work, mitt training, watching heavyweights, Andy's one of the best. When it comes to that, just good rhythm, his hand speed is just blazing, rapid fire, man. Look, if Andy is, and I'm not talking about coming in there trying to look like Ken Norton or Mike Weaver. He's never going to look like that physique-wise. But if he's just focused in on just training and just anticipating his next fight, that dude is dangerous. He could beat anybody. So, you know, like when he beat AJ that night, yes, I was shocked. It was an upset. But going into that fight, when I was breaking it down with you guys and we're going back and forth about it, it didn't like, I wasn't like overly shocked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Based on Andy's pedigree. The dude's been winning, not just competing in, but winning amateur national tournaments since he was like 8-9 years old. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys are coming off the football field, off the basketball court, you know, bouncing front doors at clubs, you know, doing all types of other stuff. When Andy was doing it since he was literally a kid, and these guys are doing, you know, they're coming in the sport at 23, 22, 19, 25, you know, so the muscle memory for him is insane when it comes to punching and head moving and all that. It's just like that. That dude can literally roll out of bed and look like dynamite on the mitts. You know what I'm saying? But that can be dangerous sometimes because you may go on Instagram to see how he's doing, but man, he's in great shape. But then sometimes Andy will trick you, man, because for that second AJ fight, you know when they fight over there and they do that thing on those Matchroom cards over there in the UK where they go to the, like with AJ, they go to the they show you the little what is it, man, the media workouts. And Andy looked explosive as hell in his media workout. You know, then we know how he came into shape his second fight with AJ, and that's not AJ's fault. He ain't got nothing to do with what Andy did or didn't do in training camp. You know, but be tricky sometimes watch Andy in those mitts, but he's explosive as hell, man. Yeah, Keith, it was about minus 30. Was it minus 30 yesterday?
Yeah.
It was minus 30 yesterday up here. So shit, I dreamed that it was 25 degrees here. But I get it though, you know, down in Texas, not used to that type of weather. Let me see. Bruce Gold says way up in New England it's 53 when it should be 25. Global warming is real. Yes, it is. Stormy B, man, what's good? Stormy, I caught you live yesterday. Your test run that lasted for, I don't know how long you was on there for, but I know how that is sometimes. You go in here to do a test run to test some new some equipment out, and next thing you know, you end up doing a live for about an hour. He says, Mr. Boxing salute, man, forget them mitts, bro. Bag work, floor exercises, shadow boxing, sparring is where it's at. Mitts don't hit back. They don't, unless the trainer who's holding the mitts hit you back with the mitts. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do like the mitts, Stormy, and I respect your opinion, bro. I know you've been around the gyms and you know boxing like the back of your hand, but my rebuttal to that would be they do hit back. When a trainer has them in his hand, he starts to hit you back with them. So I like mitt work, but there ain't nothing bag though, man. There's nothing like the heavy bag, and I got mitts and heavy bags in my household, but I love the heavy bag. I love the heavy bag. The one I don't too much care for is the speed bag. That's one I don't too much care for. See, S. Clayton says, great work with Cheney and Lovejoy, Mr. Boxing. By the way, at this stage, Wilder needs to employ a PR man and stop talking. Well, I think, and this is what I was, first of all, appreciate that. And this is what I was telling Cassius and Lovejoy. Well, see, you did say at this point. Well, first of all, he can talk, if he wants to, and he should utilize his social media platform, especially in this era. And that's what I was telling Chris and Cassius. However, you did say at this point, and there is a point in your career where you don't have to talk as much. And guys like AJ and Wilder, Fury, guys of that ilk, they don't really need to talk as much. But I think all these guys should utilize their social media platforms and get on other people's platforms and speak. Should be quiet for what? Especially if his and one thing about Wilder, I'll say this, man. Whenever I see him, whatever he's talking about, whatever he's not talking about, he's never out of shape. Now, I mean physique wise, because there is a such thing as being in ring shape, boxing shape. I get that, but you never see him putting on excess weight in between fights, ballooning up, and all that. You never see that. He always seems to be in shape, man. So I'll definitely give him that, because that's a problem with a lot of fighters, not just heavyweights, but a lot of fighters. Oh yeah, you already know. I know that, Stormy. But for those of you that haven't, y'all go watch film of Ray Robinson and Ali on the heavy back. Shit, anything of them training, period. Especially just the unique way that Ray Robinson did his road work, with the combat boots, and that encouraged Ali to start doing his road work in combat boots. He also encouraged Ali to do his road work running backwards while throwing punches. Look, man, if you guys are on my channel and you ain't went back and watched film of Ali and Ray Robinson, guys like that, you're lacking. You're really lacking. And while I got Stormy on here, Stormy, I was talking about, I want to bring this to your attention, bro. When I went live, I was talking about Deontay, talking about the guys he would have loved to share the ring with, and he brought up Holyfield, Joe Louis, and Ernie Shavers. And with Joe Louis, a lot of fans would just think straight away that he wouldn't have a chance. You could say guys are bigger, faster, stronger, but when you hit me with when people say the bigger part, I mean, like I said, he did fight Buddy Bear, who's about 6'7", 250, and he did fight Primo Carnera, who's about what, 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", 270, 265. Now you can say, hey, Deontay's more athletic, but I'm just talking about as far as size. People forget, man. I'm sure there's other guys I'm probably forgetting, that there are guys that Joe Louis fought that were giants then, and have really good, and will be considered big men today as well, so DB was good, man. I had your boy Chris on the other day, DB, with Cassius Chaney. I had them talking shit, saying they want to fight each other. Go check that out if you haven't, man. This Wednesday I'm gonna have Timothy Moulton on, 6-0 heavyweight from Louisville. All right, so y'all check that out as well. Stormy says, man, I'm so... Oh, you talking to Bruce. I know Stormy probably cooking up a message for me off of what I just said. Let me give him a little bit. I'm going to jump off here, you guys. Leo Williams says, White, Povetkin 2 prediction. I'm a dedicate a video to that itself, Leo. So just stay tuned, man. Sometimes I give too much in these lives, man. I'm talking about 17 different things. It's like, man, I could have did 17 different videos. But that's more of my 2017, 2018 days, man, when I would come out with 7 videos in a day, like commentary vids, not just the training highlights that I put out, but commentary. And that shit's a lot of work, man. Doing like 175 videos a month at one point. Well, I gotta jump off, man. Maybe Stormy, you'll probably hook up to one of your lives, man. Maybe you'll talk about it then, about Joe Louis and the big men that he's fought, and how he would compare to if Joe Louis was in his era fighting these big guys. DB says, I'll check it out right now. I thought I was all caught up. Nah, man, check it out. Put it up yesterday. Put it up yesterday, man. Appreciate all you guys going to that and checking that out, man. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay, I see Stormy hit me back. Let me see. Anybody? God of War says, I just watched your live stream from yesterday. Now you're back at it. Indeed. As Clayton, okay. Seen as Clayton. Just want to say what's up to everybody. KFKU says, who do you want Wilder to fight next, excluding Tyson Fury? And not only excluding Fury, but something that's realistic, right? So I know Povetkin and White is fighting within a couple weeks. And I would want Wilder to have something scheduled by a couple weeks, you know what I mean? Not wait on the winner of that and then wait for them to heal and rest and then fight them again. But that's depending on if Wilder plans on fighting at the end of the year. But just guys who aren't scheduled to fight and seem available. And I've been hearing rumors of Ruiz and Areola. I don't know how true they are. All right, but Ruiz is one, depending on how true or false the Areola rumors are. Helenius is fighting Kalnacki. So Rivas is coming back, but he's fighting in a rematch against Silveira Luis next month, or in a few months. Charles Martin seems available. He's training. Charles Martin, Ruiz, Michael Hunter always seem like he wants to smoke with people. Although the end of the last year, his last fight, he was talking about getting on with Herkovic, you know, so guys like that, man. Guys like that. If Wilder is to wait and just wait things out and see, maybe, and I know the winner out of Povetkin and White is supposed to, you know, get their title shot. Then I'm hearing about Usyk and Joyce is going to happen. Maybe Wilder can, again, that fight has to be scheduled first, so it'll be waiting, and I don't want to see Wilder wait. I want to see him fight now. So I want to see him fight next week if we could. But Martin, Hunter, Ruiz, those would be my three. Anybody like that? And if for whatever reason those guys don't want it or it's not enough time to train, I'm not saying they'll do this, but if there is a scenario where that plays out and we have to go to another tier of fighters that's available, give me F.A. Jag. But he was just talking, he reposted something about Wilder that got a lot of attention. Pretty much, he put up a repost of somebody saying that Wilder shouldn't be representing Africa. Remember, Wilder went out there to Africa and did that photo shoot, and I guess a fellow Nigerian felt a certain way about that. All right, and F.A. retagged it, and he's a knockout artist. I know he tasted the canvas and had hard fights against Lago Kaladze and Ali Demirinzen and Rodney Hernandez and guys like that. But hey, man, he's in the rankings. He's going to have to get his chance some way or another against somebody. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Who else is out there? So many to choose from, man. But just something like that type of scenario I would like to see play out for Deontay. All right, I'm going to read a few more and I'm going to jump off, man. Let me start with Stormy. He says, if Deontay had trouble facing down with Fury apprehension, Joe Louis and Holyfield will present an entire different problem with pressure and mental pressure. And I think he'll definitely have a tough time with Holyfield, because Holyfield ain't gonna run from you. He ain't gonna be intimidated. Shavers, I think he'll have the better. Well, shit, you could try to get into a slugfest with Shaver, man. You gonna get knocked out because he was powerful with both hands. Crazy D3 Wild in Brazil prediction. I'm dedicating that to a video by itself, man. Crazy D3. So just stay tuned. A Neutral Natural, what it do? Official AJ says we need more heavyweight to talk it out on platforms. Yep, and that's what I'm trying to do, man. You know, not only because I want to bring them on, see what Heavyweights Unleashed is. When you come on, first question I'm open up with is, who do you want to call out? Get it going like that. You know what I mean? That's where the unleashed part comes. Hey, man, talk your shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to come in here and, totally change your personality, but hey, man, let people know who you want to fight. And then after that, go into, when they plan on getting back in the ring and things of that nature, and just catch up with them. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And what I really want to do is bring both guys on who they're calling out at the same time if I can. And then I have another, somebody else who I've contacted. They're, just put it like this, they're 16-0 with 16 knockouts. They're also committed to being on. We just got to work out a time and date. Rob Calico says, salute my son, Mr. Boxing. Today, with your heavyweight knowledge, you should host more heavyweight face-offs. I appreciate that, man. That's what I'm definitely trying to do. Leo Williams says, peace out. Somebody B-Man says, though champions had additional gears to shift to raise the competitive nature of their bouts, there are levels to this. Yeah, definitely agree. Y'all listen to Stormy, man. Neutral Natural says, wouldn't be surprised if Wilder faced someone like Lucas Brown or Dinu. I want to say Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown is having trouble getting there with guys like Fabio Wardley and guys like that. He's always in and out of fights, or in and out of discussions for fights. But Wilder's a different animal, different pay range. So Bogdan Dinu, he's highly rated. I don't know how he got that ranking, man. Good Romanian. He was a good Romanian prospect. Gave Jarrell Miller some good rounds before he got stopped. Busted up Pulev's eye. Gave him some decent rounds, but losses, you know. And I don't know how he got that ranking. Has he been in the ring since Pulev? I can't even remember. Good upright type of fighter. Likes to throw the hard 1-2 with the left hook. Traditional big man punch sequence. I think Wilder knocks him out. DJ Zion Love, salute. Brian, Stormy B-Man says Shaver is only good for 5 rounds. Yeah, Bruce Goles brought that up too. He did used to gas. Stormy B-Man says these contenders need to fight one another as well. I agree. Bruce Goles says Shavers and Lau is a phone booth war no heavyweight fan should miss. Indeed, shit, any fight that Shavers had was pretty much a war. He will look, man. You didn't have to go find him in the ring. That's one thing you didn't have to go do. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys showing up to the live stream, man. Till next time, y'all be easy. I'm gone. Lance Myers, what's good, man? You missed it, bro. Catch it on archive. I'm gone.